Things have been going very well. We always welcome the opportunity to come to the UK to promote Nevis. And this year our focus is on the 30th anniversary of independence, which happens to come up next year, but it involves a lot of planning, so we have a lot of activities that will lead up to that. And as you can see behind me, there's a timeline that extends from independence up to the present. Our marketing activities will span over the period of time between this year and next year, and will involve some marketing activities which will be sponsored by our stakeholders. One of the highlights of our activity here at WTM was a media breakfast that we had yesterday for our journalists. We had about 23 journalists. We took them on the Emirates cable car over the Thames River, and everyone enjoyed it tremendously, and we expect some great stories out of that.
Certainly a trip over the Thames is not exactly like a trip over the Nevis. So
no.
What were you trying to achieve with that sort of experience for the journalists?
What we were trying to achieve, number one, we were trying to get them all together. And as I said, we had about 23. We were trying to create a wow experience because most of them have never been on the car, the cable car. And then we gave them breakfast, a Caribbean breakfast. So we introduced them to a different and unique experience, which would indicate to them that if they come to Nevis to cover a story or to experience the island for themselves, then they would have an interesting experience which they could pass on to their listeners and their readers.
So the idea is to let them know that Nevis can, in fact, give you a different experience.
Exactly.
You've met media, but certainly you've been having meetings with other people as well here at Old Travel Market. What sort of meetings have you been having?
Well, apart from the media, we have also been having meetings with the hotel reps. A number of hotels on the islands, especially the plantation inns, they have their own reps. This plantation, Iwali, etc. And we have been finding out from them what is needed. What do we as a tourism authority, what do we need to do to help to promote them? What links do we need to have in terms of making sure that their activities in the UK and our activities in Nevis are well coordinated?
How does Nevis benefit from the experience of Old Travel Market?
Well, Nevis benefits tremendously from the exposure. This is a must-do show because it's very high profile. Almost every country in the world is represented here, and because we work very closely with St. Kitts, we have that much more leverage and that much more presence because we achieve economies of scale. Also, we have a good working relationship, and we're able to promote 2 islands for 1 paradise, which makes perfect sense, of course, because the flight comes directly from Gatwick into St. Kitts. So if Londoners, I beg your pardon, who come down for vacation and usually spend between 10 and 14 days, if they can be sold on the idea that they can have 2 islands for the price of 1, then I think we'll have a better sell.
Interesting you raised St. Kitts because 30th year of independence, really, it's the independence of St. Kitts Nevis.
Yes.
So you are in fact working closely with St. Kitts to promote that.
It's been very important that we work closely along with St. Kitts. We have been even before WTM, we have had several meetings. We have dialogued very closely with them. And our plans over the next year, leading up to the 30th anniversary, next year's September, will in fact be a very close collaboration with the St. Kitts Tourism Authority.
Thanks, John, as always.
You're welcome.